Good evening and welcome to another game of Star Ladder Star Series. We are in Season 7. It is day 13 and this is game 2 of 4 that we'll see today. We have NEXT.kz on the Radiant side, aSpera on the Dire side, and we're gonna see which one of these two teams gets themselves a point added to the list. Of course, I'm not by myself. I'm actually with a team of 3 people right now, including myself. One is the person that you will not hear, you will not see, but you'll see what he does. It is Nahaz, who'll be providing you with all the stats inside the game client. Of course, you might have seen him in the chat earlier, but right now he's actually in the game, so he'll be providing you with all those interesting facts that you didn't know you want to know, but you really wanted to know them actually. And of course, there's a person that you will hear. He is my co-caster. It is Lysander. Welcome back.
Hey, welcome back. Good to be back on stream here. Very excited to see aSpera versus NEXT.kz. You know how I remember NEXT.kz? They're the guys that always pick Ursa. That's my memory of them. aSpera, I think they were supposed to be aSpera Dragons, or was it Astana Dragons?
Nope, Astana Dragons was
something else.
No, that was actually that was nothing actually. That was just a troll team that people said was coming and then never came. Like with a troll team with Dendi and Ice and all that stuff.
Okay, so aSpera, the new A team here, we're gonna see if they actually do pull the big plays. They have been doing pretty well. NEXT.kz going straight for the no fun, and they do pick up the anti-mage. Chen, Bat Rider, Naga banned out here. Very, very big counters to the anti-mage. And Team aSpera, I feel they will have a little bit of time to prepare for this anti-mage. NEXT.kz do show their hand really, really early.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised about that. I mean, anti-mage is not normally a hero that gets banned out very early on, and I mean, talking about signature heroes, Mantis, he plays a lot of different carries, not necessarily only anti-mage, where he's not necessarily signaturing anti-mage, but perhaps that's part of what they want to be doing. But aSpera, they already replied to the anti-mage saying, you know what, we're just gonna pick up a Doom, and you can't blink away even if you wanted to, and that's gonna be a good pickup. They already have a Visage, the potential to go aggressive Trilan is still there. I mean, the Visage pickup that they picked up first, I believe. I mean, you can go anywhere with that. It doesn't really give anything away. It doesn't really show like that there would, for example, be not a lane against the anti-mage. A tri lane.
Oh wow, a Doom.
A Doom, yes.
And yeah, I'm actually really excited for this Doom pick. I love seeing Doom. I've been rooting for this guy ever since Ice Rock gave him that 1 armor, and he's practically unkillable now. So
yeah,
great pick here from aSpera. So unkillable. Anti-mage is gonna have a little bit of a problem because he'll be a little bit more fearful about initiation, and just this fear factor of getting doomed from the shadows could actually impact NEXT.kz, which is why you don't see anti-mage being picked up so early. He's kind of like the surprise last pick from Burning, where he's like, aha, anti-mage time, and then you just die and crumble because you know eventually you can have PL, you're gonna lose the game. And anti-mage picked up so early is not something you see very often because of this reason alone. aSpera, they're gonna have a lot of counters coming up. I expect to see stuff maybe like Storm, Orchid Carriers, maybe even a Clinks could come out against this anti-mage, and even I would think aSpera will pick up a Quap now because of that puck ban. It's very, very possible here. So aSpera,
they actually Sharfik, the one of course that is their mid in the team, aSpera, he has a signature puck, signature Storm that is very, very scary. So I'm expecting aSpera to go for that, and I have to say, I mean, I believe I've seen Sharfik lose with Storm maybe once, but other than that, it's all been wins. So I really like it if they can pick that up because it's just very enjoyable to watch. But as you say, I mean, it's already countering that anti-mage. It's just NEXT.kz revealing what they want to do very early on. We're gonna see that Wadafaka, he is the mid player of NEXT.kz, will be trying to deal with that Storm. I mean, the weakness of Storm is of course to gank him early on before he reaches his level 6, and NEXT.kz definitely have potential in doing that one, especially with the Chen, who is one of those heroes that can gank fairly early on with help of the creeps and with help of only one support. Even if there's no support, if he gets himself a troll, he has that initiation potential. So it's pretty scary for aSpera potentially, but oh, look at that. They don't ban out the Storm because they pick it up themselves. aSpera, what are you gonna do against that?
Yep, NEXT.kz with the cheese stress. They even gotta go with something maybe cheesy, even go for a life stealer here. Really, really overload their lanes with carries and farmers and try and make Team aSpera panic. make stupid pushes early on in an effort to try and anti-game early, because a lifestealer anti-mage brought to late game is nigh unbeatable, I think. Well, I say that, but it's very possible they could go for the Storm Bomb here with the lifestealer and just put another support here. Maybe abandon that off lane, put the lifestealer in the off lane. It's all very possible. And we see Crystal Maiden, another lockdown against the AM. The Frostbite, of course, does disable Blink quite a bit.
Yeah, and I think the same support combination as we saw previous game, right? Visage, Crystal Maiden. Potential to go aggressive, definitely there. I do believe Crystal Maiden and Visage were not successful though, so I hope that's not already a preemptive loss for aSpera. But definitely a strong support combo that is that can be very aggressive early game, and especially if you know that you're going to be up against an anti-mage or you want to try and gank up that Storm, then those two are going to be really coming in handy. But we'll see what NEXT.kz goes for. I mean, all of a sudden aSpera no longer any pressure to pick up a mid hero unless they want to go for Queen of Pain, which they probably should do soon. But we'll see. First NEXT.kz, secondary support or offlaner. Well, there's still plenty of options left for offlanes. I mean, we still have Nature's Prophet in the pool. We still also have the Clockwork, the Darkseer, you name it. It's there.
Yeah, so Crystal Maiden, yeah, it's like I said, previous game. You need good positioning. You really need to, especially when AEM gets fed, you really don't want to get Blink Manted and killed in 2 seconds. And, well, I like this Storm pick for another reason, of course. It does have a big threat to aSpera here, especially against a jungling Doom. He's going to be very weak before he actually gets his items up. Visage doesn't do too well against Storm Spirit. Crystal Maiden just melts. And because of that, he's a big threat. Doom will have a problem. Which guy do I doom? Do I doom AM? Do I doom Storm? And now we have a Magnus, a third person to doom here. NEXT.kz are just throwing big targets for the Doom here for aSpera to choose. And Doom is going to be extremely pressured, I think. Windrunner, actually, no carries for aSpera. Very dangerous, I think, that they're not picking up carry till now.
Well, I think we might have a Windrunner on the. Well, I think they're gonna use Doom as the carry, but Windrunner on the offlane. I don't know whether I like if I like the Magnus. I get the point that NEXT.kz want to also be able to team fight and want indeed just confuse the Doom and who he's gonna try and actually Doom. But Magnus on an offlane, it just doesn't work for me anymore. He just doesn't get ahead enough, and pun intended with their team name, but it's it's a meh hero for me. It doesn't really necessarily grind you a winning mid game, which you of course want to have because you want to try and force out those team fights. And of course, there is always the case that if you have a Magnus on your team, there is always going to be that potential to take the game back if you just get a couple of good RPs, a couple of good team fights. Even if you're behind, Magnus is the one to bring you back. But I'm not too happy if we're gonna see him here. But we'll see. We have a what is his face? Bane band out for the last ban from aSpera, so they still need a support. Nyx Assassin still in. I'm just checking. Vengeful Spirit. I would love to see a Vengeful Spirit in this actually. Of course, removing that armor from Doom again. Pretty neat.
Yeah. Well, the Weaver ban, I'm not so sure about. The DK as well as Timber, they're just banning out strong heroes early on against the Storm that could actually potentially cripple his middle lane. And now the Shadow Demon is the perfect pickup. Perfect complement for anti-mage, because once he gets that Manta, you have that 5 AM problem. And if you guys don't know, for those guys that follow me when I do cast, I really hate Magnus as a hero because I think he's broken as hell. And teams just don't want to play him because he's boring. And I guess the laning does affect him a little bit, but and unlike what Team aSpera is doing, they are going for an elemental strat here. They have fire, ice, wind, death, and metal. So they have some kind of elemental strat going on here. And it's really cool. NEXT.kz, of course, is going to go for the full anti-fun. They have Magnus, anti-fun of ultimates. They have anti-mage, anti-fun of carries. And they have Shadow Demon, who pretty much keeps anti-mage alive most of the time. So even if you do get a Frostbite onto him, they do go with that Shadow Demon's Disruption, and you will not be able to kill them off. So it's gonna be a bit of a problem. Gonna see if the anti-mage does get locked down here by aSpera. aSpera does have a lot of potential for early game aggression. They have Visage, which is perfect for Gyrocopter, because Gyrocopter's Black Cannons will take down the will stack up those Soul Assumption charges very quickly, and CM is just really powerful early game. So we're gonna see how it's done. It looks to be a solo mid Doom though.
Sharfik is actually the mid player, so solo mid Windrunner I would say. And then Inquisitor, who's normally the offlane. I think we might see perhaps an aggressive trial in here. But let's see who is actually playing what, because we do have aSpera on the dire side. They'll have Sharvik on the Windrunner. Windrunner up against Storm might be a decent matchup for him. I mean, the one thing is, I mean, I said that Sharvik was having a signature hero Storm, right? So the thing is, if you have a signature hero, you know that hero through, and you know everything about him. So you also know what is most annoying against you. And maybe that's why they picked up the Windrunner. Maybe Sharvik said, you know, give me that Windrunner, and I'll ruin that Storm on the lane. We'll see if he can actually do that. Go Audio will take on the Gyrocopter to farm up on. We have Stompa taking on the Crystal Maiden. Zizu will play the Visage, and Inquisitor will take on the Doom. As well, we still have yet to find out if he's actually going to be by himself. I believe we have seen him by himself on the lane with the Doom before, but I'm not quite sure if I want to see that in this one, because Anti-Mage with the Shadow Demon and then Chen there is pretty scary.
Ah, okay. Nice stats here coming from your stat man.
Nahaz.
Yeah. Crystal Maiden, Stomper. Apparently he's really good. So I'm looking forward to see him. I really do appreciate good CM players, because it is the epitome of support skill to play a CM well, I think. The rest of the supports, they're a little bit better, they fly fast and everything, but CM is everything that's bad about a support. Slow, fragile. The only thing that she's good is support, that she's powerful. So she's she's literally glass cannon. And we're gonna see aSpera actually go all the way bottom, and we might see a Russian pre-fight clash here. So
perhaps
I'm looking forward to it.
You want to still invite or introduce NEXT.kz or Ahead Gaming?
Yeah, sure. I'll go through NEXT.kz. We have Magnus, played by Stalcat, and we have Watafaka. He's gonna be on Storm Spirit. Mantis gonna play on the Anti-Mage, and Reeves is gonna play on the Shadow Demon, and Zazubol.
Equal.
Equal? Okay, Equal
Just
is
Equal.
going to play on the Chen. And yeah, we might see a clash of Shafiq on aSpera is going to be throwing out Shackles now.
Wow, Crystal Maiden,
So
57% win rate. That's actually quite decent for Crystal Maiden.
Yeah, the buffs to her mana, I think, has actually inspired a lot. Yeah, it inspired me to play a lot of CM as well, but I think that's the only buff she got. Ice Frog refuses to buff her movement speed, refuses to buff her armor, and did buff that Arcane Aura and the Freezing Field. So I guess Freezing Field matters, guys. 7 seconds, OP.
To be fair, I mean, if he would have buffed the movement speed, I mean, that's such a big buff, then as a support, she would be just too powerful. She can already slow people, so she doesn't need to be as fast. We're gonna see Inquisitor taking on the solo safe lane, and therefore we have aggressive trail lane up against safe trail lane on the bottom lane, so that will be interesting and entertaining. aSpera with the Crystal Maiden, with the Visage. I think having a pretty good chance here of trying to make things work here, or at least, I mean, the thing is, the aggressive trial that aSpera here has, as long as they shut down Anti-Mage, as long as they slow down Anti-Mage, they have won this lane. But the moment that NEXT.kz realized that this was going on, we've got Anti-Mage on the top lane, Stalcat now on the bottom lane, and that is gonna maybe warrant some rotations from support, because they were running this aggressive trial lane to try and slow down the Anti-Mage, and that's not gonna happen this way.
Yeah, Doom versus AM, that is possibly one of the most unfair matchups you can possibly think of, because Doom has very, very poor mana early on, and if you drop his mana, he can't even devour. That's when it's going to be a big problem for me. You really can see Mantis just right-clicking away, 3 hits, and Doom is at 58. And Doom really doesn't have a lot of armor as well to speak of. We do joke about that 1 armor, but it's still slightly below 1 because of that negativity from that base armor. So he will have you still sell 0, but still the upper point is 0. So you have a high 0 instead of 1. So Doom is going to suffer in this lane, definitely. And a good disruption could actually see him killed, because he has piss poor movement speed compared to the 315 of Anti-Mage, as well as the 295 on Shadow Demon. So he's slower than both of them, and Shadow Demon with a quick boots can actually look to catch up to him very quickly.
Yeah, and of course we have got a bit of unfair fight in mid also, because Chen has managed to find a Harpy Stormcrafter. And Harpy Stormcrafters are the most idiotic creeps that you can find. They just win the mid lane for you, because right now, I mean, Windrunner Sharvik is just, he's forced to burn through all of his regen. There's still so much burst damage coming up from this Harpy. It's just, it's a combination of bad luck, I guess, and of course picking up the Chen to begin with. But Windrunner will not have a fun time, and I think we already have the first supports rotating. We have got Zizou on the top lane helping out his Doom, and I think we're gonna see just Go Audio up against the Magnus here on this bottom lane. That's the only way that we are gonna see this work for aSpera, who is forced to rotate.
Yeah, man, Gyrocopter will do pretty okay against Magnus. Has to be careful not to get over-skewered here. And his Rocket Barrage is actually gonna push the wave, which is not what he wants. Stylecat will be able to get EXP out of this, but because of the range versus melee and the fact that Magnus can't really go near the Gyrocopter without taking massive amounts of damage, I think Gyrocopter will have the easier time here in this lane. But Magnus can just sit back, throw out his shockwaves and bottle crow like them. And now he's going to take some right clicks from the creep wave. Very clever not to bring it to the tower. He's just going to tank it up. The Style Shield will resist a lot of that damage. He gets 3 procs there. So it's going to be very happy with that. And he will hold the creep wave away from the tower. And Go Audio will not be able to get that momentum back in his side. Meanwhile, the Storm Spirit middle lane, he's going against Windrunner. I think he's out CSing the Windrunner. She has gone for an early null in an effort to try and outlast him. But it's not been working because he has been offset by the null of Storm as well. Both get their bottle. So I think Storm will not be shut down in this lane. He will be getting all that space he wants.
Yeah, and of course credit to Harpy Stormcaller, I think mostly for that one, for forcing Sharvik away. We do see the harassment still coming out, but yeah, Storm still had a salve, so he's gonna be fine. In the meantime, Mantis is doing just fine as well, 20/7 for him on his anti-mage. Doom in the meantime sitting on 9/1, so he is very sad. And shutting down anyone for aSpera this game has not really worked out. So even the Magnus on the lane that he is on right now is, I mean, he's not really winning the lane, but he's not losing. So that's going to be something that aSpera will have to deal with. And I think they are the ones to have to deal with. They are the ones to try and make the first move, because NEXT.kz, but they're going to be pretty happy with the situation that they're in right now, and they're not probably wanting to try and change anything soon.
Centaur wrap around. Go Audio could be in trouble. Nope, no trouble here. He's just going to get some damage from the Chen bottom lane. Nearly got caught out there, but quick eye, and the fact that Magnus wasn't in position for anything will secure that. Oh, Stomper picks up an Invis. This could be the Chen's death. And yeah. I think that was a mistake from Chen. He's first blood.
He is first blood. That's going to be Go Audio with it. Nice invis room from Stompa, still in comes Stylecat, but he even cancels his shockwave, knowing that he can't do anything anymore. Self going to Go Audio, Stompa coming back bottom, and that's gonna be at least one light point for aSpera, because they really needed this. They were behind on all lanes basically. Of course, not behind in last hits on the bottom lane, but if you're not behind on, like, if you're not ahead on last hits in a lane that they have, then you are basically behind. So we'll see when they can make a difference though. Sharvik in the meantime sitting at 23/5. Wadafaka sitting at 22/7. So Sharvik managed to get himself straight again in the end, in terms of last hits, as he was behind after that Harpy Stormcrafter, of course.
Yeah, this first blood is of course very, very much needed. The Chen, I think he could have suspected something when you see the Gyrocopter being extremely aggressive to him. It does take a very experienced player, of course, to realize that something is afoot when a Gyrocopter is running at you from the fog, because Chen was in the fog for quite a while. There, Stylecat going to take some damage from the Gyrocopter, but yeah, I think Chen there, not reacting quick enough there, cost his own life. And now he's going to run back into the lane. He doesn't even have boots. And he's going to get a Centaur at least.
Yeah, that's a nice one. He's going to pull first though. Probably will only, well actually he's got a Wildwing Ripper at the moment, again helping Wadafaka, who got of course a bit behind again on the lane. So Tornado helping out, Stompa coming back mid though. I mean, we've still got some rotations from the supports. Zizou also checking for the rune, 6-minute rune, which is on the bottom lane. Windrunner already bottled the haste, so maybe a bit of a miscommunication there. But Sharvik with the haste rune, I'm not sure if he can actually do something. You would expect someone of aSpera to try and rotate, to try and get Doom some extra farm, because right now Doom has got his ultimate. He doesn't have any mana to cast it, of course. Of course, Crystal Maiden's aura helps out slightly, but it's just not enough with the harassment coming off from the anti-mage. But he's not getting anything on this top lane, and you'd expect that someone comes around to actually give him something, because this is just not good. In comes a Frostbite. The disruption is there, keeping him safe. In comes Zizou as well though, but the blink away from Mantis is still there, and both Reeves and Mantis just in no chance of dying right now, and they're just having a good old time here on this top lane. Inquisitor the one to feel well, probably a little bit sad. If he had a Doom, that would have been a kill, but the mana burn is just too strong.
Yeah, he does pick up the Whirlwind Ripper on that with that toughness aura, gonna help him stay a little bit more in the lane there, takes less harassment from the anti-mage as well as the ST. But like I said, the Frostbite is gonna be completely countered by the Shadow Demon. There's no way aSpera is gonna lock him down short of a Doom. And even then, it's gonna be buying a lot of time, a lot of Doom time wasted. So not so tranquil. Doom has finished the game with Tranquil Boots only 24 times in 147 pro matches. It's worth nothing, but Doom had 25 when he builds Batman's offering. Okay, that's nice to know.
Yeah,
Gaudio actually forced back into the forced back actually by Magnus earlier on.
Yeah, I saw that. But Inquisitor's Doom, I mean, he normally goes for those auras, indeed, and I think that in this game, especially with the amount of form that he's been getting, is probably going to be the thing that he needs to be doing. So when I say auras, I mean Vlads. I also mean mechanism, assuming that the supports are not really going to get enough money to get that. Wait a second, Sharfik might be in some trouble. Disruption comes out, Wadafaka wills up on him. He has got a Vortex as well, but the Wind Run and the Haste Rune are fast enough, and Sharfik should be fine. Look at that harassment though, Shackle doesn't latch. Wadafaka might be chased down, still has got quite a bit of mana there, and should be able to zap away if need be. Stompa, not enough just yet. Close though. Go Audio actually rotating mid as well, but that's not going to be worth anything. Sharfik coming back with the Haste Rune. Haste Rune's running out, but they're still going to go mid here.
Yeah, very lucky on the rune chances here, Sharfik. So he's going to come here with the illusion. Might want to push the tower, but I'm not so sure. But speaking of pushing towers, Inquisitor as well as Stomper, Zizo is going to be pushing the tower top. They want to bring it down as quick as possible. Magnus is here to throw out the shockwaves and stop this push. Dead on its tracks, and the shockwave will clear everything up. And only for the grand total of 19 mana. Mantis has rotated bottom. He has gone for threats before Battle Fury, so that will slow him down a little bit, but he has been getting pretty much free farm against that Doom. And I think he's going to be getting a very good time here. He's topping the CS charts at 57, and aSpera's Gyrocopter is only 39, so I don't think he's going to be out farming this anti-mage anytime soon.
No, anti-mage sitting on top of the net worth chain as well. Gaudio still not that far behind, I guess, 500 gold behind, but we'll see if he can actually get himself up. Mantis taking a bit of harassment here, forced to blink away. In the meantime, in mid lane, Reeves is looking to take some experience. Of course, the supports on the side of on both sides actually doing not quite as good as you might want. Now Reeves is level 6 because he got that experience from the wave. We have Sua level 5 on the Chen. On the side of aSpera though, there is a level 4 Visage and a level 4 Crystal Maiden. So their supports, because of the rotation, because of them not able to get anything on the mid lane, they're just really poor in experience, poor in gold. And when you have already got a support like a Crystal Maiden that's already so squishy to begin with, this is a very, very difficult lane for Stompa here. And of course Visage, you really want those familiars. That's basically half of your hero that you miss. And that's a big blow for aSpera to take.
Yep, and well, CM, like I said, her Frostbite not exactly the best in this game because of Shadow Demon. It was a good last pick, and something that aSpera couldn't really just ban for. They could have thought about it and banned it, arguably, but it was very difficult to see it coming, especially in the heat of the draft, when you have that extra time ticking down on you. So it's a very clever draft from NEXT.kz. It's a little bit, well, I would say looked down upon with all the anti-fun heroes, but you can't really blame them. StarSeries is a big thing to qualify for, and when it's a best of one, you either go for full cheese, or you go for... You either go for full cheese, or you go for something very safe, and this is exactly what safe is. Magnus for the stalling Shadow Demon. Chen Shadow Demon, how is the anti-mage going to even die short of an overextension? It's going to be pretty tough.
Yeah, aSpera still, the pressure is on them to try and make it happen, because late game, not quite sure if they can take on NEXT.kz's lineup, but we'll see. Gyrocopter, of course, a lot of pressure on him as well. He's now clearing out some ancients, so he is getting a bit extra gold, and he's actually right now topping the gold compared to that of the anti-mage, all because of that ancient stack that helps him get back on top. He finished off the Aquila, he has got treads. A bit of an early game build coming off from Gaudio, but we'll see what he goes for next, because he's got 1600 gold. They're gonna actually try to fight here. Mantis already blinks himself away. Disruption still there, but Reeves still slowed down. Can they still get him? In comes Inquisitor with the Scorched Earth running extra fast. They should be able to get this kill here. Reeves trying to stall as long as he can. Demonic Purge up on Sharvik, but it doesn't matter. Sharvik with the last hit. Oh, what a fucker. With the name of his rune. Wants to go for Sharvik. Blocks him a bit here. Has got, of course, the Vortex. Inquisitor still quite close by. There goes the Vortex. Inquisitor turns around. He has got the Doom, but he goes still for Sharvik. Sharvik, he lives. And the Doom is there. What a fucker. Did he just overextend? Oh, Anti-Mage coming back to kill off the Windrunner on the back end behind the tier 1 tower. But what a fucker. Still getting chased around. Will get sent back home. Chen. MVP. In the end, it's a 1-for-1.
Anti-Mage gets 2.
Oh,
that
one for 2. That's a double kill for Mantis. That's so not worth it for aSpera. They only got a Shadow Demon and lost 2. And both of them lost to the Anti-Mage. Scary.
The fun ends here, and Gomodio actually goes for a Helm of the Dominator, not even going for the BKB, so that's even more problems for them. BKB arguably won't be doing that much for him because of their Magnus RP, the Purge from the Shadow Demon, so I guess, and possible Chen net creeps as well, so he probably doesn't want to go for that BKB. But like I said, aSpera, they did go for a very quick bait on that Storm Spirit, but they didn't really have the burst. Visage very low on that mana due to being a support. Under farm, no arcane boots. You really want that arcane boots
on the top lane. In a lot of trouble. Already landed the cooldown. Rocket Rush is still going to be there. The zip is still there. And what a fucker, gets himself a kill. 1 versus 1. Of course, Jabber was still able to pick up the tower, but oh my gosh, that Storm Spirit is pretty scary right now. This was his first solo kill though.
Yep, Blink on Magnus. So there's going to be even more trouble coming the way of aSpera. And the courier does pick up the full Battle Fury for the AM, so that's a 13-minute Battle Fury with threats. That's a very quick Battle Fury with a lot of kills as well. So Mantis already on a good start, gonna be pushing the tier 2 bottom, and I don't know what aSpera can do. They baited, NEXT.kz showed they will be playing anti-mage, and it just worked out for them. And yeah, this Doom pick thus far not working out too well. Crystal Maiden, I think, was the most questionable pick of the entire lot here. I understand they want to give Doom some mana, but when you're laning as a Doom, you really don't need it that much because you're getting CS the normal way instead of having to devour creeps. So yeah, and CM missing some last hits on the tower with a little bit of a mis-right-clicking and mismanagement of the creeps HP. And I don't think they should be fighting this as a Blink Dagger on Sharvik, actually, going for those big shackles. Reeves gonna take a little bit of damage, but I think StarCat could drop a big RP here if they're not careful.
And you can't really try and push 5 with the Magnus there on your side, so, or on the other side actually. So aSpera is going to be first needing to pick someone off before they can actually try and make something else happen on the map, as we have got Wadafaka once again with an Invis rune. He finds himself a solo Visage who is still level 5, still no familiars, and I think we're going to see this Visage dive as it, oh, Wadafaka doesn't want to go for it. He's all by himself, but
he could have gotten it actually.
Yeah.
Because he has 4 points in Overload, that's a massive amount of burst damage. He could get it, and 400 mana is enough to pick off a level 5 Visage without any. Even with TP support, they will be too late. You will be dead in a couple of seconds. One full combo will bring the Visage down to 0. So,
a bit too careful.
Well, just from a little bit of personal experience, I think 500 mana is more than ample. So, and he didn't really have to zip really far anyway. So he could have killed him right there at the tower. They could have killed him while Invis as well. Invis would have been easier. Drop that Remnant, right click, and just stack the overload charges properly, and we'll be able to get that kill. But still, Stomper and Doom, you guys are going to be jungling a little bit here, and I think this is where it all goes downhill for them, because they started out with laning Doom. He didn't really get anything out of that, going for the drums, going for the mechanism, but really having no response to this anti-mage.
Maybe once they have the mechanism up on the Doom, they'll try to make something more happen, but can they really do that if they don't even have familiars yet? I mean, we're 15.5 minutes in and Visage doesn't have his level 6 yet. I think Wadafaka can still dive him, but he is still, like, there's some people missing from the map, of course. He doesn't know if there's a Crystal Maiden standing right there or if there's TPs incoming. He doesn't know that Inquisitor is bottom. There is no Gyrocopter up on the map either. He is actually still taking down some Ancients, as we just saw that 900 gold is the average amount of gold taken by the Ancients, from a Gyrocopter that is. Which is not as much as I thought it was, but I guess there's also games where he doesn't take Ancients. We still haven't seen an RP yet from StarCat, by the way, so aSpera, I mean, they haven't even seen the full potential of NEXT.kz just yet, and we already have the gold graph going 2.5k gold in favor of NEXT.kz. Experience graph shows it a lot more clear though. It is going towards a 7,000 experience.
What is Reeves doing? He baits out the call down. Anti-Mage actually wants to go for it because of that haste rune. But the thing is, Okay, if nothing goes wrong here, homing missile, I think it'll be easily dodged with the disruption. So no problem here. The problem with aSpera is going to have is they have two targets they want to focus. They have the Storm, they have the AM, and they have to pick one to Doom. And if they pick one to Doom, they still have to follow up with burst damage, and that's when you usually do all that tunnel vision and jumping on someone. And that is when Magnus makes his opening play, while Shadow Demon as well as Chen keeps that bait alive. And aSpera really don't have anything to count for that. They can jump on someone. If they get RP'd, it is very over. Storm Spirit can do a lot of AoE damage. Anti-Mage, if he drops a big void, the fun will end. And of course, Magnus himself does pack quite a lot of punch as himself. So Empower with a Battle Fury Anti-Mage already does a lot of splash. So that's something for aSpera to work out. I'm still very doubtful about them, their chances this game, especially with the good start that Mantis has been getting. But then again, it's Russian Dota, and we haven't been seeing a lot of Russian trades, actually, to be honest.
We haven't. We have seen a very quiet game. We've only seen 6 kills so far. We do have the mechanism ready on Inquisitor, so perhaps we want to try and make something happen. With the Blink Dagger up on Sharvik, of course, going for a good shackle. Could set up for something, but they really need to make sure that they're not going to get RP'd, that they're not going to be jumped upon, that the anti-mage is not going to join the fight, or that they take down the anti-mage or something like that. They have smoked up with Stompa, Inquisitor, and Sharvik looking for a target. Double damage room gets picked up. There's no ward here from the Radiant side, so they did not see the rune being picked up. And that's at least something, but look at them. They realize something is missing on the map. There's a drawing on the minimap. Mantis realizing they're somewhere there. They're somewhere in the jungle.
By equal.
Oh.
Shackle to his creep and a Doom. Wow.
They
I don't
really
think that
want that
really
kill.
Necessary.
They really wanted that kill. That's just
That
how
was
desperate they are.
Definitely not necessarily. Yep, definitely not necessary there. Inquisitor making a huge mistake. They will need their Doom for the next fight. And because of this, I think NEXT.kz are going to be very ballsy. Look at Anti-Mage, just going to right click. He knows nothing can kill him. Nothing at all.
Apart
Won't
from...
be able to kill him. I could be wrong if he gets shackled to the tree. He gets shackled to the tree. There is no follow-up though. Is there a right click? No.
They weren't
no
fast enough.
Yeah, but still. Storm Spirit is just going to feel very safe because Crystal Maiden does nothing to a Storm Spirit because you can just ball out of the freeze. And now...
I think you just muted your mic. I heard a tick and then you were gone. I don't hear you.
Oops, disconnected my mic by accident.
Thought something like that happened. Ooh, Stalcat though, he's getting chased down. Inquisitor can't find him even though he did use a drum charge for that. Didn't want to chase that down.
No Doom, there's no way you can kill him.
Yeah.
Magnus just outruns him. Even with the Doom, I don't think you can be able to kill him. Magnus is just so tanky. The Doom doesn't go for.
The Doom actually goes down. He gets Vortex. He gets RP'd. There's no way he can live through this one, and he'll drop. Mechanism tries to help out, but it doesn't matter. Storm in the end with a kill. Ooh, Zizou, he tried to come in to help out, but he goes down for a double kill for the Storm Spirit. Now Stalcat getting stunned up by the Familiars. Hand of God will keep him up though, and the Sand Home is reserved for the Storm Spirit. So Stalcat will be left by himself, and he'll go down for it. Of course, Equal can only save one.
The problem with the Doom here is he is still not getting damage. He went for an silence up here on Go Audio in a lot of trouble. He does do a lot of damage, but the Gyrocopter gets his faith tested. It turns out he's ATS, so he's gonna go down. And the thing about the Magnus is... No, the thing about the Doom is he did go for another plate mill. He already has the Tranquil Boots, he has Mechanism, he has a lot of armor. You don't really need the plate mill. What he needs now is to add to the damage potential. His team desperately needs as right click power. Doom should have gone for something like Shadow Blade, sneak up on the AM, drop a good Doom. And yeah, furthermore, Inquisitor, he has ice armor as well. So right now this armor whoring I don't think is the right choice. He has the Mechanism, and when you get a Mechanism it usually is gonna suffice in terms of that armor. I mean, it's not the best, but you have the Mechanism with the 5 and the +2. It's a 7 instead of the plate mill, but the plate mill, it's a waste of 1,004. It could have been your Claymore, it could have been you a lot closer to that Shadow Blade. So I'm really saying that Inquisitor isn't going for the right build here.
Well, he's going for the Aura build. He is allowing, or he is hoping for Gyrocopter to be the one to do the damage, although Gyrocopter almost has his BKB ready. He's also not building damage items just yet. Mantis though, Mantis might actually die here. He will go down, got shackled to a tree, cooldown coming down, Go Audio and Sharvik taking him down with the two of them. And of course Sharvik earlier on already getting some advantage on the map by clearing out NEXT.kz's courier. So that's a whole bunch of gold going the way of aSpera all of a sudden. The gold graph still of course in favor of NEXT.kz. Experience graph, same story. But aSpera not out of this just yet. We're gonna see how long they can hold on though. If they can actually do something. Inquisitor kinda slow on the fingers if he wanted to go for Doom, but I'm not even sure if he could have gotten the kill if he did go for the Doom, so perhaps he was also unclear and just let that Storm Spirit slide.
Yep, Anti-Mage, well at least he has died there because, well, you say holding on longer, the longer aSpera hold on, the longer it's gonna get really painful for them because the Anti-Mage is gonna be more and more of a threat with that constant split push, and they do have a Storm Spirit to cause trouble as well, so you can't really solo defend, so to speak, because if you TP any support in just to try and stop the creep wave, Storm's gonna jump on you, otherwise Anti-Mage will. And once he starts to get out Manta, his farming does increase rapidly, as you can see there. And power as well as Battle Fury bottom, he just clears the creep waves in 3 to 4 swipes. And he just blink to the next camp, farm, 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 and the fun for you. And well, sooner or later it will hit your base, and with SD providing illusions along with his Manta style, you will lose your towers very quick. Roshan being attempted here by the Dire.
Yeah, let's see if they can get this Aegis. They do have a BKB ready up on the Gyrocopter, or at least in his stash, so that might help them out later on if they try to go. So far though, I mean, in terms of them trying to group up and make things happen, it's been pretty tough. They've only got 1 tower down thus far, which was the one that GoAudio lost his life for. And the other tier 1 towers are still standing, so if they want to try and go for 5-man mid or 5-man bottom to take the tier 1 and tier 2 towers at some point, it's not going to be easy. Of course there's going to be Magnus hanging around there as well. They're going to try to maybe pick up Wadafaka here. We do have the Blink Shackle, doesn't latch though, and that's going to mean that Wadafaka should be safe. And the Radiance Courier back again on the map. As the meantime we have
when did it die?
I died earlier, 3 minutes ago. But Sharvik was able to pick it up with a Windrunner by himself.
Yeah, Windrunner with a Blink Dagger is really good because he can actually blink to those right angles, shackle 2 heroes together, and now with the Haste Rune he might be looking for something. Is there Ward Vision? No Ward Vision just of yet. The Sentry Ward will be removed here by the Radiant support Reeves, so he will not be getting that. Shafiq has been making some good shackles this game. It did cause the death of the Anti-Mage as well. Oh, there we go, Blink, Shackle on Butterfly.
Yeah, and Doom still there as well.
But there's the RP.
Yeah, RP up on 3, but no follow-up coming up. He still is able to score GoAudio to the high ground though, which is pretty neat. But Magnus will still end up going down. We have got Equal still alive in this. He was able to send the Storm Spirit home. And Equal himself will get shackled to a tree. Will get picked off here. And that's gonna be another kill added for aSpera. Stompa in some trouble, getting chased down by a Chen Creep. 1 hit away from dying. That Satire really wants him. And in comes the Shadow Poison from Reeves, who disrupts the attempted TP home from Zizou. He will go down for that as well. That's a double kill. Or actually, Chen gets the last hit. Oh wow, with the long zip. What a fucker, not able to catch Sharvik anymore. Does find himself Inquisitor though, and in comes Stalkat as well, and that's gonna be another kill. This is 4 heroes dead on the map, on the side of aSpera. I say 4. I mean 3 because I don't think that GoAudio actually went down. So 3 heroes going down the side of aSpera, and they only got themselves 2 him return for that one. Or what? 2. Yeah, 2. Magnus and the Chen.
Yep, the Chen pick is actually really good against Doombringer here. This is actually, this actually opened my eyes as to why NEXT.kz picks up that Chen right after that, following it with an Anti-Mage, because the Chen, even with a Doom on the field, he will be able to send anyone home. Anti-Mage, Storm Spirit even, they will be able to send home and jump back into the fight very, very quickly. So this Chen pick has been actually really, really good. And well, like I said, if you initiate on someone, he just gets sent back, the Magnus drops an RP on your team, you really don't have to follow up, and even if you try to follow up, that's exactly what's gonna happen. Magnus, even if Magnus did die for that, that RP bought a lot of space for NEXT.kz to get in position and counter attack here.
Yeah, Stalkat, of course, 1 step closer to his BKB, even though he bought back, his inventory and his bank account still look pretty healthy on this Magnus. All the outer towers on the side of aSpera are down, and they have still got 1 tier 1 tower standing on the side of NEXT.kz. They're going to try to take it down. In the meantime, Anti-Mage Mantis has finished up his heart, looking pretty fat for him, and he is actually going to try to push the tower a bit. He's got those Mantis tower illusions, he got the creep wave coming in, and why not just try to take down the tier 2 tower, who is going to try to backdoor, which is going really slow But the creep wave is coming in, so we should be able to do this. They are trading towers though, with the tier 1 going down bottom. It looks like they're not even going to try to protect the tier 2. But if aSpera goes for this, they're going to get forced into their base before they actually are able to take it down, because the tier 3 tower is going to get threatened here by NEXT.kz.
And they don't have a glyph as well. CM has already come back into base. The tower won't be able to go down. Go Audio tries to get a few last pokes on the tower. But now Mantis is going to do that old style where he just sits there. StarSeries zips on in, gets the Doom. This is... this is wrecked.
Yeah, RP up on 3 people, Scooter forward as well. Zizu will get picked up. Sharfik's still alive in this. Can't find a shackle. Mantis and Stout get locked together. Can Go Audio get something done here? His damage items really necessary. He doesn't really have that much just yet. Mantis, Mana Voice Go Audio, and that's gonna help someone get the kill. Chen gets the kill with his set tire. Sharfik the only one to make it back to base alive, and indeed the Rex will go down. Tier 3 tower to drop first. Rex to go second, and aSpera in a world of pain as they're now 14k gold behind and 16k experience behind. GG gets gold. aSpera, they do not want to fight in this anymore. They tap out. Anti-Mage too strong, Anti-Mage too fat. And NEXT.kz get themselves a point for StarSeries.
Actually, I have to really compliment NEXT.kz here. This is a very, very clever draft. They baited out. They picked the Chan, picked the Anti-Mage inside. Oh, wow, you're going for Anti-Mage? Alright, we start picking counters here. So we're gonna pick Doom. We're gonna pick... what was that? We pick Doom, we pick Windrunner with a long cool lockdown. We have a Crystal Maiden. So NEXT.kz, well, in a sense, they did bait out the counters, so they can counter by picking Storm Spirit to distract that Doom. Which one do you Doom actually? Then there's a Magnus to follow up as well. He's not being banned out these days, and of course the Shadow Demon, just the last nail in the coffin to defend that Anti-Mage. And overall, it just gelled really well together, and aSpera just wasn't able to handle it, and now they will get that fountain farming going on.
Yeah, kills do matter, perhaps.
Chen getting a double kill there.
Yeah, apparently someone pressed cancel when the GG was called. So unfortunately, yeah, we have to wait until NEXT.kz actually clears out the Ancient. Of course, this is not the last game for StarSeries today. We have actually a total of 4 games today. This was game 2. And we're gonna see Fnatic versus Alliance. So I think a lot of people are looking forward to that. Let's hope it's gonna be at least a bit of an even game, considering the games that we have seen earlier on from Alliance. But still looking strong, of course. But let's see how they do up against Fnatic, who hasn't actually been looking that strong lately. At least not since Friday. So we'll see. Stick around for that though. You of course are watching StarLadder StarSeries. This is Season 7, Day 13. This was Game 2. We're gonna jump ourselves to Game 3. We'll be right back.